Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Make sure you watch the episode before watching this video because we will be giving details of the show. So make sure you watch the episode first. Hey y'all, I'm Ivy.
And I'm Yak.
And welcome to episode 3 of Show Realm. So on today's episode, we're going to be discussing episode 3 of Archive 81. So before we get started, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and come vibe with us. Relax your body.
Clear your mind.
Open your soul, forget everything you got going on in life, work, home, friends, forget all that, and come vibe with us. Welcome to our room. Okay, y'all, now that we're all pulled up, we can get into the video. So Melanie actually starts talking about, a little bit more about her background. You know how her mother left her in the church, so the church basically raised her. And in the church, she said she wasn't a perfect kid. She would get punished a lot. And, she'll have to do punish work. And when she'll do this punish work, sometimes she'll just zone out and draw these, weird, black drawings. Just like a black circle. Someone will take over her and she'll just go to town drawing. So at this point in time, Dan officially finds out that Melanie was his dad's patient. So, now that he knows this, he calls Mark, lets Mark know, and says that his dad actually had session tapes. So he is now at his aunt's house, since his dad passed away in the fire. So he's like, go to my aunt's house. She's on vacation right now, and retrieve these session tapes, so he can listen and find out more information about Melanie.
So now Dan, he done searched out all the house and he done found out where the surveillance, where all the cameras at. So he like, okay, a camera right there, camera right there. So he basically, what he do is he get a feed to tap in to the whole surveillance system. So now on his computer, he can see everything that Virgil see.
Exactly.
So in the middle of this, he start having these weird dreams. I mean, he's going back and forth. She's reacting with him. It's like they in the same spot.
This was so confusing, y'all, because I'm like, what is going on? Like, they real live having, a whole conversation.
So, the whole time that he doing this, he go back, he go check the cameras. The first thing he's showing is like, okay, I know a spot, the bathroom. The bathroom ain't got no cameras. So, since the bathroom ain't got no cameras, that's where I'm going to watch everything. So, now, I don't know what he was thinking. He in the bathroom for hours.
2 hours later.
And he put the shower on like he taking a shower for a long time, y'all.
So, the first thing that happens is the weird lady, she come. The one in the red, she come. So, the first thing she do is she's like, I think you need to change rooms. There's mold. Then like, nah, ain't no mold. Ain't no mold. Don't worry about it. Yeah, y'all just can't see me. Y'all know what's going on. Of course, he don't say that, but that's probably what he thinking. So after that, he basically sent her on her way. Every little attempt that she get to try to change rooms and to get in there, he just shooting it down.
So y'all, it's back to when Dan, is finally going through the tapes, and in this set of tapes, Annabelle finally meets Miss Wall, and of course the interaction is awkward. The same when Melanie first met her, she does this little sniff thing, and it's so awkward. So Melanie actually confronts her about the little debacle they had going on in the community room, and Mrs. Wall acts like she don't know what's going on, basically just deflects the whole thing. So now we're going on into, Melanie speaking with Jess. I believe they're in Jess's apartment, and Jess is down. So she's really down. She had a rough day at school, saying she got into a fight and stuff, and she just letting Melanie know that these seizures that she's having is really bad. Kids are starting to remark on it, and she just feels helpless, basically. Her mom doesn't want her to get help, any medical professional help. The only help that the mom wants her to get is from the priest. And so Melanie is feeling bad for her. So she feel like, I got to do something about this. She's telling Annabelle, like, she needs help. And, I'm in the position, I have some contacts. So, I'm going to do what I can to help her. So she contacts Dan's dad, Mr. Turner. So, while this is going on, Dan finally gets the tapes, his dad's tapes or whatever. And, he finds the tapes with Melanie. And so he goes to the date that Melanie sets up the appointment with Dr. Turner. So he goes to that date and he could hear everything that happened on the tape. So he basically, hears, their session. And I would like to say the session went well. Dr. Turner had just a kind of brief consultation with Jess, just to see what's going on and stuff. So, after this happens, Jess's mom storms in, y'all. She storms in, and I would like to say this is our first time actually meeting her mom, because she'll always say, my mom this, my mom that. And I'm like, do she even have a
Yeah,
mom?
you ain't
Because
even
we
think
never
she
saw
had
her.
one.
So yeah, I'm like, okay. So we finally meet the mom, and she is mad. She's mad because Jess told Melanie that she asked for her mom's permission, and her mom said it was cool. But that's not true. Her mom did not know that she was, seeking help from a doctor or whatever. So she was upset about that, and basically told Melanie, don't be doing this, leave my child alone. So, after that brief interaction with the mom and stuff, Dan, stops doing the videos, and he looks, because like we say, he can see everything that's going on. He have access to the whole camera feed. So he's looking, and he could see that there's this lady, the one that came, knocked and checked on him, when the shower was running and stuff. And he see that she's in the house, basically. So he goes up to her like, what you're doing here and this and that. And she's like, oh, I was here to check on the power strips and this and that. And, that was just weird. So, she basically is leaving, and she's like, well, just let me know if there's anything I could do for you. And so he's like, there's actually something you can do for me. There's this old chapel that's actually boarded up. And he's like, you could basically unboard that for me. And
Yeah,
she
like
just
she ain't even
looked.
here.
Yeah, she just looked and then leave. So that was weird.
Yeah, so then it's back to Mark. He on his expected gadget, about to go meet Melody. So when he meet her, half her face is burnt, and she got scars from the fire. So he tried to ask her questions about everything that was going on at the visitor. So she's like, no, I don't know nothing. I'm like, she lying. Why you always lying? Oh my God. So
Yeah.
he like, I'm gonna play the little tune then. He played the tune, don't nothing happen.
Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe they brainwashed her or something, because I'm like, what?
Now, in the meanwhile, Dan has another experience where he meet Melody. He tells Melody that she's a good person and she makes people feel safe. He also tells her it's a feature, not a bug.
So after this, Dan goes back into viewing the tape. So in this tape, Melanie's actually meeting with the priest that Jess told her about. So she meets the priest, and they're having small talk, and he basically asking her how she likes the visitor, and asking her like if there's anything strange that she feels is going on. And so right when this happens, it's like he want to say more, but before that he could say more, you just hear like a woman screaming. So, they rush out the room. Come to find out, it's Jess's mom. She's screaming because Jess is having a seizure. So the priest goes up to her, he prays over her, helps her, and she finally comes up out the seizure.
Alright, so now something weird happens. Dan, he watching the video, and Melody's in this gas station store with Annabelle. And for the moment, she talking to her, and she say the same thing that Dan told her. So he telling her everything about she's a good person, and it's a feature. It's not a bug.
Yeah, y'all. This is like our second time hearing that, so that was weird.
So Melanie and Annabelle, then they go to the visitor, and they hear these strange sounds from Jess's apartments. So after she hear the strange noises, first thing she do is she go to Tamara's apartment. She go to Tamara's apartment, knocking on the door. Soon as she hit Tamara's apartment, she like, hey, there needs help. I'm hearing all these things going on. So Tamara like, I got a spare key. Ain't that good? So then all of a sudden, she gives them the key, and they break into Jess's apartment. Now this is where it lost me, because the mama's in there. Why was it the father? The father in there, from the Catholic Church out there doing some kind of exorcism with the mama right there, like she approve of it. What you think of
Yeah.
that?
I mean, that's what she want to do. Poor Jess. They was sprinkling holy water on her. She was all wet. It was.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So then they finally get in the room. When they get into the room, they like stop, and the mom finally gets to her senses and she stops it. So when she stops it, here comes Samuel. Samuel come in the room and he basically give the father like he ain't nothing. Get out! Okay. Get out! Get out! He basically telling Jess's mom like that stuff that he's doing that ain't real. But she needs some real help. Jess needs some real help. So he basically convinced her mom to get her some psychological help.
So the priest just leaves. He storms out, and Melanie goes to catch up with them. Kind of to confront him and tell him about himself. And the priest is like, "You have no idea, basically, what's going on here." He tells her that there's a dark evil, in this building, and that she needs to get out while she's still able.
No shit.
And I could just say that the look on Melanie's face, that she knew that it was some truth to what he was saying because of all the things that she's been experiencing. So when he said that, she was just like, taken aback a little. So now Dan finally has access to that chapel that he asked the lady to unlock for him. So he's in there, and mainly I feel like he's in there because the chapel actually has access to the tunnels that he needs to get into. Unfortunately, the tunnels are on camera, so Virgil could see who goes in and out of the tunnels. Luckily, he recorded like hours, about 7 hours of footage of the tunnel, so it's just like in the recordings, the tunnels, the hallways is empty.
Then he ran it on a loop, so it's never stopping.
Yeah, so he's gonna run that on a loop, so that looks like the tunnels is empty, but he's really down there. So now he's in the chapel and he calls Mark because Mark was supposed to go have this meeting with Melanie. So he's asking them like, Mark, how did the meeting go? And Mark lies to him, and I'm just like, what? So
For what reason though?
Exactly. I was confused at this part because Mark is just like, she wasn't there. It sucks, but I'll try again sometime later. This week or whatever. And I'm just like, Mark, like, why you lying? So eventually Mark comes clean and he's like, you know what?
He didn't take that long though.
Yeah, he didn't take that long. He was pretty quick. He was like, you know what? I'm sorry, I did lie. I met with Melanie. So now this is where things, kind of is like, wow, because he met with Melanie. And like we said earlier, she didn't know a lot of what he was saying. So we thinking like maybe her memory was wiped. Like, I don't know. Come to find out, that wasn't really Melanie. So Mark says that this lady, she was also involved in a car crash, which is why she had the burn on the side of her face. And after that car crash, it's like she just couldn't quite get her life together. So she took over someone's identity. She took over Melanie's identity. And, she took over everything about her. And she knew just a little about her, just so much just to get by. So by her doing that, he's basically trying to tell Dan, because Dan is like, okay, so now we just really have to find out, where Melanie's at. And Mark is like, no, when somebody takes over someone's identity, it's mainly because they're dead, because there's no one there to attest that, hey, you stole my identity, because they're dead. So this was just like a bomb for Dan, and you could tell it kind of hit him hard.
He hit his face hard. So now at this point, Dan is like through with it. He like, I'm going back to work. So he rewind the video and go back to the gas station scene, and he like,
yeah, he mainly wanted to see her say the part again about, hey, it's a feature, not a bug. I don't know. I guess it kind of gave him some hope, like, hey, I'm really talking to this girl because I told her that,
Yeah, he was wigging out there. So this time, the film just starts staticking, and the melody starts talking to Dan through the camera like he really there.
Exactly.
So I'm like, oh, this is getting crazy. So then she leaves because she hears Annabelle going off on somebody outside the gas station. So when she leaves, ain't nobody there. But then all of a sudden, creepy ass smeller lady, Miss Wall, she come to the thing, and the first thing she say,
Yeah, she actually enters the store and walks up to the camera, like, it was so weird.
Yeah. So when she coming to the thing, I'm like, what's she about to tell him? What's she about to tell him? She reached out and choked him through the screen.
Yeah, but what she told him?
Yeah. I'm not gonna finish that. We'll finish that tomorrow.
Yeah, so y'all definitely go out and hopefully you already watched the episode, so you should know what she told him. So how y'all feel about that? Let us know in the comments how y'all feel about the episode. So make sure to like, subscribe, and thanks y'all for watching. Tune in tomorrow for episode 4. Come get this fire content.